I was so glad she arrived.
This girl was going to help us.
She was Mary Poppins.
She's bubbly, she's lively, she's full of ideas, she's bright.
The girls thought she was amazing. The girls thought she was full of fun.
Her stories were fantastical. We were fascinated by them.
Her stories were so far-fetched that you couldn't make it up.
The minute her mouth was moving, she was lying.
Well, from Claudia Bronwyn, Lucy Fitzwilliams to Carrie Jade Williams, these are just some of the different identities taken by just one person, Samantha Cooks.
Serial fraudster Samantha Cooks. These are the names that she's been using around the country. Sadie Harris.
Carrie Jade Williams.
Lucy Fitzwilliams.
Lucy Hart.
Lucy Williamson.
Ellen Harris.
Everything was a lie.
It was one of the biggest scams that has ever happened on TikTok.
Where is the real Carrie Jade? Who is she?
She's gone from town to town, a pure con artist.
I was really scared for my friends and their children.
I slept with a hatchet beside my bed.
We're wrapped up in some serious thing, and I don't know how far this has gone.
Who have we had looking after our children?
As I'm terminally ill, I self-fund all my medication and my experimental treatments.
The dying lady is what I knew her as. She's not Carrie Jade Williams. She's actually a scammer, Samantha Cooks. We kind of got a bit of a picture together of her life.
Samantha offered to become a surrogate.
There was no baby.
She said she was pregnant. Baby Martha died the day that she was going to be taken for adoption.
Samantha Cooks has had 2 children that have been taken away from her, which is a little bit concerning, really.
So many different names and so many different places, and just, it's mind-blowing.
I would warn anybody about her. Don't let her in your home. Don't let her in.
But like, you felt so guilty for a long, long time for introducing her to anybody, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
I still do a bit. She took advantage of people's trust and their emotions.
And their vulnerability.
And their vulnerability.
She finds your weak point, and your weak point is always going to be your children.
Hiya, how's it going? What's the crack with you today? Yeah, right. Taking it easy, me eye. Where are you off to? Samantha walked into my life as Lucy Fitzwilliams. She's a very endearing kind of personality. She was very positive, very well read. I was cutting her hair and she told me she was an evangelical Christian. She talked about her fiance, a pastor. She had experience with autistic kids and kids with behavioural issues. And in my job as a hairdresser, you meet so many parents that are so looking for help with their kids, especially special needs kids. We're waiting for doctor's appointments and waiting for psychologist reports and waiting for reports and reports and reports. People are nearly on their knees asking for help and it's not really there. So one by one, I introduced her to different people. My friend Hilary needed a bit of help with Reese.
Introducing the Junior Bake Off.
Junior Bake Off.
Come on, stop her.
No, sorry.
I've been.
Yeah.
Whoa. Right.
Beautiful. Lucy came along to me at a time when I needed her. She came along at a time when I was desperate.
Crap.
What?
This is hard work.
It is hard work. It's very hard work. Baking is hard work. Reese was born in 2011 and the autism and the disability started kind of showing at the age of 2. We couldn't get the services and they couldn't give us a time when they were going to provide them to us. He needed occupational therapy immediately. He was non-verbal at that time. So I was on a waiting list. I was. That waiting list wasn't happening. There was no end in sight. We were getting pushed from pillar to post and I didn't understand why the services didn't seem to be urgent, but it was urgent in my family. One weekend, Reese had the meltdown of all meltdowns. He couldn't cope and I couldn't cope with his behaviour. He was hurting himself, he was hurting me, he was hurting the family. And he was having a hard time. I rang Lorraine and I said, Lorraine, I need your help.
I kept saying to Hilary, please get this girl in.
Lucy was going to be able to help me. She was a trained occupational therapist. I need her help, I need her now. So I rang Lucy. And Lucy said, hi Hilary, I've been waiting for you. I was like, oh my God, Lucy, you know who I am. And she goes, yes, Lorraine has told me lots about you. I've been waiting for your phone call for a long, long time. Finally, you've rang me. By that one phone call, I was hooked on her immediately. Oh, lovely. Put it in the oven.
Oh, I can't do it.
You can do it. You're a big boy. Big boy. Oh, good job. Okay, good job. As the weeks went on and as we developed a friendship, she then hit me with, oh, by the way, I'm opening up a women's refuge. Really? A women's refuge? That's close to my heart because many a time I ended up in a women's refuge as a child.
I thought she was just amazing. Suddenly every day you were doing something for her. Then we introduced her to Lynn as well.
Straight away, I was like, what can I do? How can I help?
So Lucy on a Monday would ring me and she'd say, I need a double buggy. I'm after getting a family with a set of twins.
I was like, oh, well, you know, I might have a couple of double sets.
Sanitary products.
20 tins of tomatoes.
Food, hampers.
Baby food.
Baby clothes.
Leftover Christmas presents.
Nappies.
Bottles of water.
Clothes.
Around about size 10, maybe 12.
I gave her cash as well. I gave her envelopes of cash. I had no idea that this refuge existed or where it was. Because you're not supposed to tell people and that's a safety thing. So they are usually hidden away. So no, I never questioned that.
I believed everything that she said. Her tales, yeah. She told me that she was getting married to the pastor of the Evangelic Church. They were having their wedding in the Shelbourne Hotel. I thought, oh, that's a bit posh. So she told me that it was going to be Star Wars, the team. I was like, sorry? You're going to have Darth Vader walking through the corridor. She goes, yeah. I was like, wow, that's a bit bizarre. And who's doing the ceremony? Princess Leia. I thought, wow, that's weird.
And then she divulged that she was an heiress. Her mum had passed away, leaving the company 3M behind. 3M is the crowd that do sellotapes and sticky tapes and duct tape, like international. Everybody has it in their house. Multi-million. So money wasn't an issue, you know? And she would say, I'm not here about money. It's not about that.
You holding on tight, Dolly?
Okay. Now, Lucy claimed she was a play therapist and an art therapist, a paediatric art therapist.
Your BiPAP is heavy on the back, isn't it? Good girl. Okay. I wasn't in a great place when she did what she did. Good girl. Feel better? Big deep breaths, okay? Big deep breaths.
In 2013, my little girl Daisy arrived. Daisy's primary condition was called Rett syndrome. In layman's terms, it's a combination of Parkinson's, epilepsy, autism and cerebral palsy. I had another child, Ellie.
Now where could she be? Could she be? What if I get...
Not long after, I became a single mum to Ellie and Daisy. I was trying to get my head around the idea that I had a little girl that wasn't going to be with me forever. Ellie got the raw deal in it because Daisy needed me physically and Ellie needed me emotionally. And my head was always somewhere else. My head was in keeping my child alive, fighting the system. It's impossible at times. And it leaves you just open, really open. She would come twice a week. She gave Ellie the one-on-one that she didn't get with me. Well, there's definitely a bond of trust. Ellie was trusting her with her secrets and her worries. I don't think anybody, when they meet her, know what's really underneath that skin.
Lucy was coming to me every second week. I'd go and pick her up. I'd bring her into the house and she'd sit down and we'd have a little chat, and I was expecting the little chat to be only 5 minutes long. And the little chat went on to an hour and a half, 2 hours, anything but talking about Reese. She'd talk about the pastor, she'd talk about the wedding. Then she'd say, oh, what are we having for lunch? And she seemed more interested in what we were having for lunch than actually doing anything with Reese. But I had nowhere else to turn. I had nobody else to help me. Show me how fast you can go. Ready? All right, I'll time you. I'll time you. Ready? Go, 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 go. I didn't know enough about occupational therapy to know that this is wrong. We got less and less about the occupational therapy that we were supposed to be doing and more about this women's refuge. By April, there was nothing but Lucy. She consumed our lives. By the June, she told me about Lapland.
Myself and a lot of my friends would be very similar people, still children. in an adult's body, we're trapped. One of my friends had said, oh, she's doing this trip to Lapland and, you know, it's to do with the women's refuge, but there's extra places.
I was so excited for Lapland. Lucy provided me with an itinerary, a reindeer ride, snowmobiling, the dog sleigh, a full itinerary. I said to Lynn, I think we can get you on that plane to Lapland. Oh my God, do you want to go to Lapland?
Ellie was so into Santa at this stage. She literally had herself togged out from head to toe, everything. The snow socks, she had the hat, she had the big gloves.
All we had to do was give her a deposit.
Initially, it was a deposit of coming up to 400.
I had given her 1,500.
Each one of us had involved other people, and each one of us who had involved other people were to collect that money for Lucy. And every week she talked to me about Lapland and how many seats there was. She's got 5 seats, 2 seats, 3 seats. And when I was talking to Lorraine, she'd say, oh yeah, I sold 3 seats, 5 seats, 2 seats earlier on to other people who need those seats. And I said, hang on a minute. I sold 2 seats, 3 seats, 5 seats today for somebody else. And she go, oh, well, maybe she had more. I don't know. How many seats are on an airplane? So we started Googling how many seats were on airplanes. But by the sounds of it and the amount of people that we were after involving, we had personally sold at least 5 airplanes. Yeah. I was collecting deposits off my friends, and Lorraine was collecting deposits, and Lynn was collecting deposits.
Now, one family, they were thrown over maybe 15 or 20 grand or something. There was all plain of them going. I suppose thinking about it, we should have smelt a rat.
Samantha wanted me to sign a form to bring Ellie into another country without me being there. And she said, but as an organiser, I would need to do that. And she actually referred to when the kids go on their school trips, that the parents have to give the letter. And I was kind of going, okay.
One day, Lucy was in my house, chatting away at the table. I had my back to her. The beautiful voice changed. It was like, you know, a mask dropped and this voice came from nowhere that my friends' kids, that they didn't deserve them, that she would do a much better job, that she wanted to have them. It was like, I will have them. There's something not right.
I had involved another friend and she was going to give Lucy a cheque, and it just so happened that she was an accountant. She wanted Lucy's charity number for the Women's Refuge. And I had my friend ringing me saying, I can't get in touch with Lucy. I'm supposed to be meeting Lucy to give her over this cheque. She still hasn't given me the charity number for the Women's Refuge. It's really strange. There's something going on. I don't know what it is, but there's something going on. All of a sudden, Lucy rang. Hillary, quick, you need to help. I'm in the hospital. She said, I collapsed in the middle of Eason's. I've been brought in. I don't like hospitals. You need to come and get me. I said, I'm on the way. Into the receptionist. I'm here to pick up Lucy Fitzwilliams. Lucy Fitzwilliams, Lucy. No. I said, Lucy Williamson? Lucy Williamson. No. Lucy. No. She collapsed in the middle of Eason's in Dunleary and she brought in by an ambulance and she goes, oh, Samantha. She goes, cubicle 3. And I went, sorry? Pull back the curtain expecting to see some random girl sitting there. And instead, Lucy's sitting on the bed with heart monitors on. And I went, Lucy! She says, Hillary. I said, there's a girl, the girl on reception called you a different name. And she looked at me and she goes, oh my God, get me out of here, quick, I have to go. The minute we walked out of the hospital, her personality had changed. She was back to the Lucy that I knew. Oh, such a beautiful evening out, isn't it, Hillary? What the hell is going on here? Who is Samantha?
Who is she? I couldn't find her on social media. There was no Lucy Fitzwilliams. I just wanted to get to the bottom of what was going on. I introduced her to my friends. I was really scared for their children. I just kept digging. I went to the church where the pastor was that she was getting married to. He was already a married man, knew nothing about this, with I think a couple of kids. I was like, oh my God. I went to Northumberland Road, which is where the Women's Refuge was, and I walked up and down. I was like, I thought, there's no Women's Refuge here. My heart was racing. This wasn't true, that wasn't true, refuge wasn't true. Who is this girl? I was very scared. I went down to the Garda station. The Gardaí showed me a photograph. They asked me then, was that her? I said, yes, most definitely. But I noticed on top of that, the written words were Samantha Cooks, missing from her home in England. This person is not who she says she is. I felt sick. I Googled her name. Then we knew about the court case in England with the surrogate. Oh my God. I really don't know what her plan is. I sent the message to Hillary that I think we should try and get Lucy to your house and we should confront her. I sent the message meant for Hillary to Lucy. Yeah, so she got that message. And that's how she found out that I was onto her. That's how she done the runner.
She was gone. We lost her. And that was the final time we heard about Lucy up in Dublin.
I wasn't as scared for my own safety as I was for other people's. I was just trying to find answers. She was lodging with an elderly lady in the area. I went to her house. The lovely elderly lady, she opened the door and I said, "Oh, where's Lucy?" "She's gone to Morocco." And I said, "Okay." I went through her stuff in the house and found double buggies, all the food, loads of stuff that we brought, like toiletries, and found the bank card, and they confirmed who she was. Samantha Cooks, not Lucy Fitzwilliams. There was about 12 or maybe 15 burner phones, loads of writings everywhere, all over the floor, all over the walls. There was just so much. It was very upsetting. It was all very dark and all very baby orientated and child orientated. It was quite definite in a lot of the stuff that I read that I would be very, very concerned that she would do something to a child.
She wanted me to write the consent form, consent to take my child out of the country without me. When you discover that Lapland isn't happening and you question why did she want consent to take my child abroad, the massive concern with that is if a woman has consent, written consent from me to take my child out of the country and she's an ulterior motive, then my child's at risk of being abducted. I didn't know where she was. None of us knew where she was.
We had police circling our area. Our home was on red alert. I had to have cameras put up around my home.
I was scared that she would come back in the middle of the night and take my child. I slept with a hatchet beside my bed.
The fact that I introduced her to my friends, you do feel guilty. You do feel guilt. Sorry.
Never heard from Lucy again. No more phone calls, no more Lapland. We'd just been scammed. We lived in fear for a very long time.
It was just in the back of our minds the whole time. You know, if we had known where she was, who she was with, we could have actually moved on.
Over a year ago now, I got diagnosed with a terminal degenerative neurological illness called Huntington's. Huntington's is basically Parkinson's meets ALS meets Alzheimer's. I always say for me as a writer, I had no self-doubt at all. I just pitched to anybody, I'd enter any competition, I'd have a go at anything. So I think because I have Huntington's, I don't remember, if I get a rejection, I don't remember it the next day. I've memory loss. I think when we talk about kind of life-limiting illnesses and things, like for me, anything could happen at any time, and I say yes to everything. I kind of put myself out there, and you never know when you walk through a door what's going to happen on the other side.
Go for a walk. Come on. Good boy.
Kenmare is a lovely small town. Often confused as a village, but it is a town.
One of those classic, everyone knows each other, kind of nice communities.
People that have a warm heart, you know, and I think she sensed it.
Kind of fell in love with Kerry, realised that there's a lovely community down here. I've made really good friends in Kenmare. I love it down here.
The house next door to me had been empty for a while. The landlord, Tim, also owned the house that I was living in, so he contacted me to say somebody was going to be moving in.
Oh, she was going to be there long term, 5 years plus. That's what any landlord wants, a good tenant. You could definitely say that should be every landlord's dream if you believed her.
If somebody had asked me back then if your new neighbour seems trustworthy, I would have said probably yes. I did like her. She was an English woman living on her own. She was part of the evangelical Christian church. Polite, very sort of well-spoken, friendly, soft.
I do sort of have quite a good sense of humour.
She seemed to have made friends with a few local women.
Carrie wrote us an initial email to inquire about a residency. I am a neurodiverse writer that relies on assistive technology to communicate. After winning the prestigious Financial Times essay competition in 2020, I was agented. I wondered if you had a formal process for applying for residency opportunities. Regards, Carrie Jade Williams. Carrie was believable. Carrie was welcomed because Ireland is a very welcoming place. She was invited to participate as a writer in residence, and she had said, yes, I'll participate, and she would write a piece. She went up on stage with other really good writers from around the area, and she presented her piece.
I do not share photos of my husband online. His next wife, the one after me, the one who will love him when I'm gone, when I'm buried, she will share photos.
The Financial Times was really that was the one that sort of changed everything. I will always be so grateful. The Financial Times have been amazing.
She was just fascinating. That's what she was. She was fascinating. And I thought that her essay that she wrote for the Financial Times, which I believe she did write, was really, really good. And she talked about her Huntington's disease and how she needed assistive technology to do her work. So I thought she was an excellent writer.
I have so much fun with my writing, and it's opened so many doors for me.
There was also things online about her winning this award. Lots of stuff online about her writing, about her story. It was definitely impressive.
I always say Huntington's disease made me brave, you know, and I hate if people tell me, oh, you're very brave, you know, or you're inspirational.
It was heartbreaking. It was really heartbreaking.
It was difficult for her to walk.
Headaches and shakes.
You felt so sorry for her.
She had collapsed one day crossing a street.
She was telling me she was in and out of hospital.
She also told me that she had almost died choking on a piece of pasta recently, that her swallow was now gone.
So basically, I am having experimental brain surgery for my terminal Huntington's disease.
This is where the fun starts.
Netflix were going to be making a film of her, and she was heading to Los Angeles to get a chip put into her brain. Now that I'm saying the words, I'm saying, were we mad?
It's a 15mm hole that they have to drill through your skull to put it in, so it's quite small.
It's unbelievable what she's going through. She told me so much about her, and I was a bit bewildered.
Accessibility should be about making the world more improved and better for humans. I hope that in the future, when some young woman gets the diagnosis of Huntington's, that the first thing they might see is someone like me that's living life.
Next thing, she was actually engaged. She told us loads of things about Fionn. He sounded like an absolute legend. He sounded lovely.
Oh, Fionn. What do we say about Fionn? He's a lovely man. We met through a church group.
She was obsessed with Lego and she was going to have a Lego wedding with her fiancé Fionn. Lego cake and Lego little layouts and things like that, that it was going to be Lego themed. I thought this was the best thing since sliced pan.
So the dress Kerry Jade chose is something like this. Just a very, very soft skirt, very romantic, floral lace detail on top. That was her dream come true.
She said yes to the dress.
I was thinking, I've never seen this guy. She's been here for 3, 4, 5 months and I've still never seen this guy. Nobody had seen him.
We tried to ring her. Then she didn't answer the calls anymore.
There was nothing coming from her. Weeks and weeks and weeks. No one paid for that dress.
I don't think that there was ever a wedding, and I even don't think that there is a fiancé. There's nothing around that whole story that is actually true, I think so, yeah.
She wasn't paying rent, and I wasn't pushing her because I thought she had Huntington's. She was telling me she was in and out of hospital, and I was willing to let it slide. She's a pure con artist, a bit like Catch Me If You Can, that kind of movie, and has got away with it. She had us all fooled, so she did. And if she didn't do the Airbnb thing, I suppose she'd have never been found, caught out.
I know, yeah, these guests are suing for, it's a life-changing sum of money. They are so emotionally traumatised and triggered by being forced to be around me. They are seeking a huge amount of compensation.
Lorraine rang me one day. Hilary, she's on TikTok. She's on TikTok. What do you mean she's on TikTok? Something's after happening on TikTok and Lucy's back.
So this here is Samantha Cooks. I don't know if she's got Huntington's disease and I don't know if this happened to her, but what I do know is that I've had a lot of people messaging me. I honestly do not know what's going on.
Quick Samantha Cooks rundown for anyone who doesn't know the story. She was on TikTok posing as a lady called Carrie Jade Williams. Now, as Carrie Jade Williams, she was saying that she was disabled with Huntington's disease.
What is going on?
This woman claimed that she was being sued for £450,000 by a couple who had stayed at her Airbnb and had taken offence to disability aids in her home.
This is Samantha Cooks. Lucy Fitzwilliams. That's her. Oh my God.
She's really good at what she does. Scams and fraud and conning.
How is this possible?
Her account went viral, like fully viral. People were saying, well, actually, I knew her by Lucy Hart. I knew her as Samantha Cooks.
What is she at, like?
Eventually she comes off social media because obviously there's a massive backlash against her.
She's a very dangerous woman and we need to keep spreading the word. We need to keep talking about her so she's got nowhere to hide.
Lucy Fitzwilliams, a.k.a. Kerry Jade Williams, a.k.a. Samantha Cooks. This was a scam on the highest scale that I've ever seen.
There was a few of us in the town that were starting to get super suspicious. I hadn't seen her for maybe a week. I didn't know if she was in the house or not, but I didn't hear anything and I didn't see anything. I got a message on my phone from one of the other women I know who was getting suspicious with a link. Saw the comments. "You're not Carrie Jade Williams, don't you remember us? What the hell is going on? Samantha Cooks." They're saying that that's her name. I obviously Googled the name. I knew straight away the picture was her. There is no Carrie Jade Williams. It was all lies that she brought to Kenmare. I was all of a sudden dealing with somebody that I didn't have a clue what she was capable of or what she wanted to do or why she was doing any of it. Like, none of it really even made sense.
I was so angry. When the news came that Samantha had turned herself into Kerry Jade and diagnosed herself with Huntington's disease, it just stuck in my throat. Obviously, Daisy was born with a life-limiting illness. How dare she? How dare she use that to gain people's trust? Why wasn't anybody doing more to try and get this woman?
Keep a lookout for this face. People need to remember how dangerous she is. And remember, do not let her into your homes, near your children. We were posting on TikTok saying, this lady doesn't have Huntington's. She's not Carrie Jade Williams. We were just trying to stop this from happening again. We were trying to help people.
I made my video and then other bigger creators made videos as well, all across all social media. I was very proud of the TikTok community for coming together.
People were commenting, saying, oh, well, I was her neighbour. Oh, she lived with me for this amount of time. Slowly, we started to build kind of this group of people that had been affected by Samantha. We made a little WhatsApp chat.
I came across Chrissy. Sure, within minutes, like, I sent them TikTok to Hillary.
So I get onto my phone. I just need to text this girl, Chrissy. So I sent Chrissy a text. I know you don't know who I am, but I was involved with Samantha Cooks. She scammed me. Please believe me.
They all need to pull together on this. It's been going on for so long. It has to stop. It has to stop.
She's caused so many different types of damage to so many different types of people.
Other people join the group that have been through so much.
Lucy Hart, that's what we know now as an au pair, like a proper Mary Poppins. She turned my world upside down.
Samantha offered to become a surrogate.
There was no baby.
She looks so sweet and innocent. I was taken back by how much she has actually done.
There were thousands of messages back and forth, trying to put together the amount of destruction that she had caused.
I got added to this group. I actually couldn't really grasp everything that was going on to begin with. I was like, okay, so that's her. And she did that. And that's her. And they're saying that that's her name. She actually told me that she had a baby called Martha and that she had died after getting some vaccinations.
I had a little girl that died as an infant. Martha, yeah. So she had a severe allergic reaction. She had her vaccinations and just had a severe allergic reaction.
To think that somebody would lie about the circumstances in how their baby died, it makes me feel that she has little or no empathy or care in the world. On the WhatsApp group, I was saying to them, like, guys, she lives next door. Like, what am I gonna do? I didn't have a clue what she was capable of. So I stayed on the couch that night and didn't go to sleep and stayed on the WhatsApp group talking to the women. Literally, I'd say it was 3 or 4 in the morning. I also rang the guards. They just kind of said, well, she hasn't committed any crime to you. She hasn't done anything to you. Like, what do you want us to do about it? That's when it really started getting scary for me. I just knew that I had to keep the kids upstairs. Can I just cut it for a second? A taxi pulled up outside the house. That was the last time I saw her in Kenmare.
I didn't know whether she was in the house or not in the house. The neighbours hadn't seen her. Rubbish was building up outside and vermin were seen at the back door, so I just took the bull by the horns and went in myself. Rubbish, bread, sausages, rotten, and the stench. Pizza boxes and mince pies. Jesus Christ. This is only a tip of the iceberg what was left behind. Burner phones, burner SIM cards, fake licenses, fake COVID certs. She was definitely up to no good.
After she was outed, she just vanished from online, from real life, from everywhere. No one knew where she'd gone. We got journalists starting to get interested. It blew up into something massive in the media.
Samantha assumed various identities, calling her way into people's homes.
She's gone dark now, and maybe that's not the best thing for anybody. It was just everywhere. It was everywhere.
We all wanted to know where Samantha Cooks was. What is she doing now?
We've all exposed her, but where is she? She's in somebody's house.
My name is Matt Riles. I'm the lead pastor here at the Bridge Church, and I knew Samantha Cooks as Sadie Harris. The church here in Selbridge, the Bridge Church, it would be probably more a Pentecostal type, so it's quite lively on a Sunday and people clap and sing out loud and raise their hands. And we kind of welcome anyone who walks in. I think it was exactly what Samantha thought she wanted or was looking for, is a place to kind of weasel in. I never trusted her. And I just always got this sense like there was something to the story we weren't being told. She presented to us as this person, Sadie Harris. She had just come from America. She had been a nanny for really wealthy people. But when I asked, like, oh, who did you work for? She would say, I signed an NDA and I'm not able to discuss who that is. And she was now here in Ireland working as a nanny locally. It was true that she was working as a nanny here, and I would see her like walking to and from school or whatnot with the child. That was true. There was almost this Mary Poppins vibe off of her, like too good to be true. She was doing a course on how to be a foster parent. There were so many layers to the story. It's hard to actually keep up with all the stuff she told us. Another part of her backstory was that she was adopted. Her parents were English, I believe is what she told us. They owned a big factory in Israel. And so there's loads of money, loads of land. She had a lot of access to finances. At the time, I didn't know she wasn't who she was presenting as, so I just thought, this is really bizarre. I remember I was at home and I got this text from a friend. It was a link to a podcast.
3 years ago, a young woman with a terminal degenerative brain disease reached out to us, looking for help.
She wanted us to tell her story to the world. Then, Carrie Jade Williams disappeared. Before long, her story exploded online.
Oh my goodness. I realized straight away that it was who I knew as Sadie, but this was calling her other names than Sadie. So I think Carrie was one of the names and Samantha was maybe the real name. I understand like that one of her lies that she was telling is that she had Huntington's disease. She never said that to me, my wife, or anyone here that I've spoken to. And there were no signs that she had any type of disability or ailments or anything. Someone in the church sent a message to Sadie. I know that you're not Sadie. I know that you're Samantha. I think that was kind of the gig up for her. She fled in the night. By the time the sun came up, she was gone and had just vanished.
That poor family in Selbridge, like, part of me just feels like, is it going to continue until something bad happens?
A woman charged with defrauding the Department of Social Protection of almost €60,000 has been remanded in custody at a hearing in Tralee District Court. Samantha Cooks, of no fixed abode, was arrested outside Tralee Post Office in County Kerry yesterday when she was due to collect a weekly disability allowance worth €232.
Wow. It's real. It's real.
It is the 19th of February. It is sentencing day, and we left Dublin at 5:30, and we're half an hour away from Tralee Court. And today is the big day that we've been waiting for nearly 8 years. 8 years.
It's not just me and Hilary. There's a whole world of people out there who've been affected, and this is for all of us today. The sentence today is in regard to welfare fraud. You know, €60,000, it's money. And the reason we're here to see her being sentenced for this symbolises all of the damage that have been done to so many of us. It's nice to just see some form of justice taking place. It is going to be a form of closure, just sitting in front of her and her knowing that we're there. Whether she looks directly at us, she'll know. Yep, she'll know.
Hey guys. Hey Chloe.
All this is out of shot. Out of shot, yeah. Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Today, Samantha Cook's past caught up with her at the Circuit Criminal Court in Tralee, where she was sentenced for deception and theft offences. Detective Garda Ray Liston told the court Samantha Cooks convinced a respected GP to fill out a form for her, saying she had already been diagnosed with Huntington's disease. Judge Ronan Munro sentenced Samantha Cooks to 4 years in jail with the final year suspended. He said her plan was carefully orchestrated and had diverted funds from people in genuine need.
She didn't look at us. She couldn't look at us. There was a fright when she seen us at first, and she kind of was like, oh my God. And then she went to turn and she seen the other one and the other one. It was a big shock to her.
I don't think I'm going to get the closure I was expecting. That reality has hit me really hard. It's not going to change what's happened. I had no idea how much it's all affected me. And how much it changed me then. And how it altered my parenting. How it altered me as a mum, how I embrace other people. Just shame on her, you know.
Oh.
We can't change what has happened, but I wish and I hope that this changes everything going forward. This has never been about the fraud or the monetary gain. It's about the emotional attack on people that are already vulnerable.
I'm angry because she put the fear of God in us. We all thought that she was going to kidnap the kids. We lived in fear for a very long time. She will constantly scam till the day that she dies. She will probably scam the funeral director.
I don't feel sorry for Samantha, but I feel sad for Samantha. She feels like she's got to be this other person who has pretend degrees and pretend diseases and pretend houses and pretend money and pretend parents. Like, nothing about her life is fully true.
I don't know what it is that causes her to do this. I don't believe she will stop.
I feel sorry for her. Because imagine what a lonely life it is to lead. Her whole entire life has been one scam after another scam. It's been one name after another name. Like, how do you even keep up with that? I wouldn't want to be in Samantha's head.
She could do anything. She's that intelligent that she could do anything she wanted to do. So hopefully, after all of this, she does get the help that she needs and she does move forward with her life. She's been so many different people, you know, and so hopefully one day she does move forward and just be Samantha Cooks.
You're still on mute there.
I couldn't put the camera on.
Oh, girlies are together. Hi, girls.
Hello. Hello.
If Samantha was watching me, I would say thank you for those lovely people I've gotten to know through you. Every day, every morning, I know I have a team of people on my side, a team of individual people that have been brought together through horrific circumstances and who are the most amazing people. We don't always talk about Samantha Cooks. She's not that important anymore. We've stopped talking about her and now we talk about ourselves. She's not consumed our lives anymore.